This fabric will work.
Mrs. Nini seemed to know her sewing inside out. I bet she missed us.
I hope Miss Nini won't misunderstand me. Good day, madam. I've come to you with a special requirement. The tailors on the street can't help me, I'm afraid. Could you make a doll for me?
Oh, Senor Holmes. You taught the police how to do their job, and they found the thief. Of course I will help you. But what sort of doll? A child's doll, such as my great niece might play with?
A little larger than your typical doll.
Signore, I don't understand. Boy, girl, animal, and what color?
Animal, a passionate, perhaps amorous animal.
Ah, Signore, you talk in riddles. I am an old lady who's seen it all. Tell me what you need.
I need a life-size elephant.
I think Mrs. Nini outdid herself with this one. Is that a tail?
That's a trunk, John, but I must agree with you that it's her masterpiece.
Well, let's not waste any time. I can't wait to see the fruits of your labour.
The game is on.
So, what's the plan? I hope it all doesn't go horribly wrong.
We know that the elephant is seeking a female. We can arrange that. A doll with the appropriate scent might do miracles.
So you're a marriage broker. Well, I suppose that makes me a groomsman. You forgot about your new friends, Sherlock, Nabe and Laura. You won't reunite the trilogy.
Oh, are you enjoying torturing me? Those are your friends, John. I have a case to solve.
Well, it's up to you. But I think you'll regret it. Oh, she is a bit breezy, I must say.
Well, Goliath is eager for a single female elephant in his area. It should be just enough for his taste. You'll need to trust me.
Are we ready? I can't stand the tension.
We're ready. Let's call the elephant.
How could anyone resist? I knew a lady once who said just that. Too bad I'm not an elephant. Take your time, Sherry. That deserves a slap, and then a kiss.
And here's our lovesick friend.
What is the meaning of this? Why are you bringing it here? I won't allow you to leave.
I assure you that it is only a temporary measure. It won't be long until the elephant is gone, I promise you. It injured itself while running through the forest. A feathered fletching. There's something in the needle. This might be promising. The left tusk is larger and more worn. You're a left-tusked elephant. Peaceful and compliant, almost a gentleman. I have to leave you for a moment. Don't sail too far away.
I don't have any thoughts on this. I don't have any thoughts on this. I've nothing to say about this.
Have you seen what your father sent to Paul?
This is despicable. My father was never a gentleman, but this crosses the line. I knew that father wasn't fond of Paul, but this is just awful. If only he could have seen how good Paulie is to me. I've nothing to say about this.
Are you aware that Paul smuggles drugs for a dangerous gang?
Mr. Holmes, I've already told you. I call him a pirate in play. He's not an actual pirate. He's a champion and a brave gentleman, not a thug.
Let us agree to disagree on that. But don't be surprised if one of his clients knocks on your door. I have to leave you for now.
I've nothing to add.
Your partner had a very specific attitude towards the things he treasured. Was this habitual for him?
That would have been too much even for him. Don't get me wrong, he had a harsh temper. Like a true businessman, he was ready to burn his competitors to the ground.
But threatening someone physically would have been something new even for him, am I correct?
Absolutely. Besides, I had never seen him this angry. The fellow who received the letter must have been extremely alarmed. I'm a busy man. I've nothing to add. Moving on. Moving on. Moving on. Moving on. I've nothing to add.
Have you seen this person before? The one beside Imogen Gilden?
No, but he's with Imogen, so I suppose that he's a friend of hers. That girl always has her head in the clouds. I could have said Theodore was different, but that wouldn't have been entirely true.
Away with the fairies, was he?
That's one way of putting it. Either way, I don't know much about Imogen's life or her friends. The type of elite that pretends to be educated.
I forgot I left some stones unturned. I have to leave. Did it feel good killing Theodore Gilden after the humiliation and threats?
What? I thought you were blaming Goliath for that.
No, I think you killed Theodore Gilden. Goliath is, unfortunately, a victim of circumstance.
I'm far better than to kill Gilden. Believe me.
I can understand why you killed Mr. Gilden. He saw you with his daughter. He checked up on you, yachtsman, smuggler, and a woman. He went so far as to hire some thugs to attack you. Theodore knew your weakness, your career. He forced you into a corner. You're a survivor. You were prepared for the worst, but Theodore surpassed even your worst-case scenario. So you responded accordingly.
I've earned everything myself. Every victory, every trophy, every mangir. I achieved all of it without murder. I don't need to kill in order to win.
And you weren't afraid that he would reveal your secret to the owner of the yacht club or your competitors?
I can control my fear. Trust me, I wouldn't have become a professional athlete otherwise.
You were at the crime scene at the precise moment when Gilden died.
I was not. I was visiting the doctor after the attack on me.
Ah, of course, where no one saw you. That's an inconvenience. But in any case, the person who was there met the rage of the elephant. One was struck by the gate with such impact that they were thrown into the shed. The knife fell out. The bruises on your elbow match the contour of the hole in the shed.
But I told you where my bruises came from.
And I heard you, but you didn't catch my words. A bosun's knife was found there, a very specific tool commonly used in your field.
That's only your assumption. I was never there. I mean, I was, but not when this happened.
You see, I managed to capture the elephant. Goliath had a dart stuck in his hide, similar to the ones that you used to kill rodents. My guess is that you used Goliath. A dart can kill a mouse or human, but for an elephant, it's not enough. Strychnine is a powerful stimulant and convulsant. Once the drug was in the bloodstream, Goliath became extremely agitated and so blinded by the flow of energy that he killed his owner.
And my dart is responsible for that. I'd rather use my hands.
Yes, there would have been fewer variables, but after the attack on you, your condition didn't allow for a direct confrontation. So, you used what you had.
That's not what happened. Anyone might have the same set of darts as I do. They're not expensive.
But not everyone knew Theodore and had access to his property. In addition to the true murderer, I discovered many facts concerning Theodore Gilden. He was a ruthless, violent, impulsive, and egocentric man. He didn't care about you or his partners. His daughter openly disregards him despite shedding some tears. He was a hostile man, impossible to reason with. In fact, I can understand why you killed him. My only advice to you is to take Whirlpool and disappear.
You accuse me of such nonsense and then you ask me to leave. No. I have to start from scratch. I have to abandon Imogen.
That would be only a minor inconvenience. The facts are not in your favor. The police would likely disregard the words of a woman, particularly if she was wearing gentleman's clothing. Also, I would be likely to tell the police all that I know. There is nothing for you here anymore, only anxiety and hostility. Would you wish to live like that, or start anew, somewhere safer?
A scapegoat. I understand. I have no choice. I have to start over again.
The real scapegoat is the elephant. It'll be executed as the authorities need a guilty party. So don't look back. Good luck.
Is it over? Is it finally dead?
Goliath has been executed, yes. A barbaric and crude event that your ears shouldn't hear about.
Rather a remarkable achievement of justice. Just what I was expecting. Punitive and inevitable.
It can't be undone, so why talk about it?
Well, you can't undo the past either. But you yourself keep holding on to that. Speaking of which, I have prepared some of my father's belongings. I am more than happy to give them to you as a reward. Goodbye, Mr. Holmes.
That's more than enough, thank you, and farewell, Miss Gilden.
It was an old skull. What a lucky find for a pair of young adventurers.
It was easier to climb these walls back then. Not merely because we're older, but because the ruins are too. Of course. You said we needed to bury him. Do you remember where?
Well, one would think burying a human skull would stick in the mind, but somehow... no.
An old man was standing here as we passed.
Oh yes, I remember his face as we flew by with a skull in our hands.
He looked as shocked as our grisly companion.
Nothing ever bothers an old Ottoman backgammon player.
this wasn't the right place for a funeral. We were looking for somewhere more appropriate.
Funny, nowadays you love putting men behind bars.
You're a fellow of infinite jest, aren't you? The water level was higher back then.
I remember swimming through this mire while trying not to breathe in the horrible odour.
This is where we buried it. It seems that with time, our friend has emerged once more. The skull is ancient. Its likeliest owner was one of the Knights Hospitaller who died during the siege of the fortress. I remember now, you said this skull was my father's.
A child's imagination is a powerful tool. You needed this. A burial process of your own. A ritual so you could begin to grieve.
Here hung those lips that I have kissed, I know not how often. I felt so alone back then, John. Uncertain. Abandoned by my father.
I know.
The skull wasn't his, though it may as well have been. In the earth, all of us look alike. But putting this man to rest, it did help.
I'm glad, Sherry.
I find myself rather tempted to keep it. If not for sentimental value, then it's archaeological merit. Karim of the Silver Hand, the pirate with a golden heart.
Merhaba. Seni görmek güzel. Merhaba. Selam.
Could you help me?
I don't think I'm rich enough to talk to you, sir.
Nasılsın? Ne haber? Merhaba.
What else do you need on a hot day like this?
So the treasure is real, but tell me, John, how did you even guess there would be something on top of the monument?
Didn't I ever tell you about my psychic abilities? I should have. I even know where we ought to go next. I always admire the way you notice such details.
In such moments, I often recall Mother's voice teaching us of the importance of the smaller details. The world hangs on small hinges, John.
Even the most chaotic miracle becomes sequential when you take a closer look. I remember. To dungeons old and caverns deep.
Wait, what? Is this Mother's magnifying glass? How did it end up here? What happened?
Sherry, you really need to learn to let miracles happen. The whole world is one big, unresolved, chaotic miracle.
But they will become sequential if you take a closer look. I do remember what Mother told us, but that explains nothing.
Just let things happen, all right? Besides, this little miracle will look perfect in our manor, don't you think?
The best antiques in the district.
have a large assortment and pleasant prices.
Is this familiar to you?
No one listens to us, so why should I listen to you, oofbird?
I'm having deja vu. This house seems so familiar.
Greetings. Would you be here about my violin by any chance?
I am. I saw from your posters that it was stolen. The name is Sherlock Holmes.
Very pleased to meet you, Mr. Holmes. I'm Anthony Jones. But by the sounds of it, you haven't seen my instrument, alas. But if there's anything you can do to help locate it, I'd be most glad.
Just tell me exactly what happened. How was your violin stolen?
Some needy soul broke into my home while I was out. The only thing of value they took was the instrument.
Did you report the theft to the police?
I did, but they dismissed it as petty theft. Don't get me wrong, I don't blame them. They certainly have more important matters to deal with.
It would be another crime if I let some petty thief get away with your beloved violin. Let me help you find it.
Oh, thank you very much. I cannot tell you how grateful I am. Oh, come inside, I'll show you everything. Feel free to look around.
We could bake apples here. Or smoke a duck. Ooh, or make pizza. Do you like pineapple?
This cover is dusty. It hasn't been taken off for a long time. The thief left the bow. I suppose he prefers pizzicato. The scrap of fabric is covered in white stains. Clumsy of a thief to cut himself on the glass he just broke. The jagged bottle reeks of cheap whiskey. An utterly useless theft deterrent for a glass display case. Nothing was taken except for the violin. How odd. These are intricate pieces of music, quite beautiful if my sight reading holds true.
Anything else you'd like to know?
Does anyone else live here?
No. My dear Emily died long ago. And God never blessed us with children. I used to give music lessons, but nobody visits me anymore.
You weren't here when the burglary happened, correct?
I was tending to my wife's grave at the cemetery. I was only gone a few hours and locked the door before leaving.
The door was kicked in. The trail stops here along the waste.
Hello, sir. Would you like some fruit? Fresh from the orchard?
I'm not hungry, but I'm looking for a violin that was stolen. Any chance you saw someone with one?
Oh, yes, I did. It was sailors, sir. And they were very good customers. They ate lots of fruit and said that my donkey looks like their friend. Lieutenant Jon.
A lieutenant. Did you see where they went?
No, sorry, sir. I was helping other buyers. Oh, and sir, the sailors also took my donkey. So I guess they weren't very good customers. They promised to return him, but they didn't come back. My father will kill me if he finds out. So I'm still waiting here for them.
Do you know Anthony Jones, the musician? He lives nearby.
Of course. Mr. Jones is very kind. He never barters. Funny you ask.
I'm yet to crack a smile, so pray tell.
Well, the first time they came by, the sailors mentioned something about music, so I told them Mr. Jones can teach them how to play. Wait, so was it his violin? Oh.
You couldn't have known they would steal from the old man. Fortunately, you made up for it with your testimony. I'll find them and your donkey soon enough. Stay put. Someone must have seen where they took it. It's a donkey, for heaven's sake.
The donkey was being stubborn, but so were they.
There we are. The first lead in our asinine chase. One of them lost his cap. Oh, this must be Lieutenant Jon. The sailors couldn't get him inside the tavern.
Don't forget to point the boy to his donkey on our way back.
Those drunks are wreaking havoc in there.
Is this familiar to you?
Doesn't remind me of anything. Someone else can help better, sir.
When a king is out, like hell.
Take a rest, my friend. Too simple.
It won't work this way.
I'm gonna hurt you.
The snuff's ready. Don't give him the pepper snuff.
Take a rest, my...
I'm coming for you. I couldn't miss the party.
Don't cry, you'll live. Don't bother.
The snuff's ready.
Too simple.
I'm coming for you. Take this! Just die!
Don't cry, you'll live. Too simple.
Give him the pepper snuff.
I'm gonna hurt you!
Don't. The snuff's ready.
Well, they left me no choice. I think I might be nearing intoxication myself just from the smell of them. The maker's stamp suggests it was made by a student of Pressender. Quite a lovely instrument.
And somehow, after all the mayhem, it's still in one piece.
I found your donkey. It's not far from here, outside the Wet Whiskers Tavern. You'd better go after it before someone decides to borrow it again.
Thank you, sir. I'll be quick as a flash. Hey, Yusuf, please look after my cart, okay? And don't eat anything. Well, you can have a couple of grapes, but only the small ones.
Well done. I look forward to the beautiful reunion. These bare shelves are actually rather convenient. Less washing up.
Here's your violin, Mr. Jones. It might have gained a few nicks and scratches, but considering what it's been through, it's a miracle that it's still in one piece.
God bless you. I am deeply in your debt, Mr. Holmes. The scratches don't matter. They are like scars, each telling a story. It is the sound that matters. Oh, you should hear her sing.
It would be my pleasure.
This melody, Sherlock. Don't you recognize it? Look up, Sherry. There used to be an attic up there. We used to sneak in from the roof and listen to Mr. Jones play when we were children. You should tell the old man the truth. I think it will mean a lot to him.
Bravo! I'd forgotten how beautiful a violin sounds in the skilled hands of a virtuoso. That, melody, it brought back some memories. I have a confession to make, Mr. Jones. As a child, I used to sneak into the attic above this very room and listen to you play. Spellbound by the music.
Oh, so that was you. After my wife's death, it was difficult to pick up the violin again. But knowing someone was listening helped me persevere. In fact, a young man like yourself could breathe a second life into this instrument. It's a remarkable outlet for one's emotion. You should have it.
I can't accept that. And, well, I don't play.
It's never too late to learn, Mr. Holmes. The way I see it, the violin chose you. Take good care of her.
Sherry, I'm really glad we helped him.
I hope you'll enjoy playing it as much as I did.